Hello, welcome to Mandy's Not So Small Talk, and I am your host, Mandy Squires. Thank you for joining me. Please, before we get started, I would love if you could hit like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you've done so, I want to say thank you very much. You make good choices in life. All right. So today I want to talk about basically the human condition and mistakes and forgiveness. So, and when I speak about the subject matter, it is usually from my own personal experience and my own internal meditations and self reflection. And then I'm just giving my own personal wisdom of perspective. And according to whatever um, things that I observe, read, take in, and experience, mostly from my own uh, embodiment or stepping into my own personal lessons and challenges that I've moved through. I'm a very introspective person. I love to observe and look at things from a curious standpoint and reflect on that and seeing, what can I learn from this, or, what is this teaching me? And that's how I choose to live my life. So that being said, I definitely make mistakes, and I definitely um, sometimes, you may obtain the knowledge and it may take a little bit of practice to actually fully embody, but it is self-compassion and consistency and persistency and the willingness to grow that allows you to be able to integrate fully. So my goal in life is to be completely, fully actualized and to live a wonderful, fulfilled life. Learning how to be more in love and to be the state of love in every now moment. And sometimes I, as a human, make mistakes. And that we all, right? So I think, I'm a Virgo rising, which makes me critical by nature. It's part of my operating system in terms of critical, in a way, like our purpose is to be critical in a way to improve structures and to improve humanity or whatever systems that we see. But a lot of times that comes with the shadow aspect would be like a perfectionism aspect where, imposter syndrome has been playing a huge part within me. And the I read that actually, which is interesting, that the Virgo is actually they're supposed to be critical of the outside world for improving it, but often the negative or the shadow side is when they take it internalize it and make an attack upon themselves, which totally I have been living that. And I've always found it very easy to forgive others and to be okay with other people's mistakes, but not to be okay with my own mistakes. And so that has put me in definitely unfair situations, and also created basically me to put up a wall and a barrier to be very cautious, like overly cautious, of letting others into my life, because as a Virgo rising, we tend to attract others that need help. And then there's this mirroring of the martyr and savior complex that takes place. So to be mindful of that, and that can play out for a Virgo in either, like playing the role of either the savior or either the martyr. And I've definitely had relationships playing both, like taking turns with each of those roles. And I truly believe that we are gifted experiences so that we can obtain the wisdom from it. So that's really what consciousness wants, is to be able to be lived. So consciousness exists, and then it comes in, and we are allowing consciousness to be lived through us. So basically, we are a vehicle for consciousness to experience different scenarios and different things and what it feels like. And so when we can understand that, and understand that who we truly are is not this, but really we are the observer of this that we are living. So, how do we interact with others in our lives, right? You know, and when we feel that others have wronged us, and then, how do we utilize forgiveness in a way that we are not martyring ourselves? So this has definitely been a deep reflection on my part. And learning how to find that unique harmony and balance to what is love, particularly, because I always kind of stood like, I would never, no matter what, I don't want to hurt another person. I'd rather take the pain. So I've been playing the martyr quite a bit. Even though I know that person is doing wrong to me, but rather than hurt their feelings by speaking up for myself, I would rather take the pain. And then, the result of that is basically what? It doesn't feel very good. And then me living in a disempowered state, and thinking like, man, why is the universe doing this to me? But here's the thing, is that you are the universe, and it's you choosing to do anything to yourself, this is a concept that many sometimes may not understand, depending where their journey is, or then there's people that do understand it. But love to try my best to at least plant a seed, or at least put it in a way that if those that haven't walked into this realization can maybe find their path to that enlightenment. So, that being said, the illusion of control. So, and let's talk about that for a moment, because yes, we're taught that we are creators, and that our vibration, and we are magnetic beings, and we attract those to us, and we can manifest things. I think the disillusionment in terms of that comes when we're trying to control things from a singular perspective. Because I think sometimes, spirituality and the things that I observe, it does a little jump. Like it forgets the big picture sometimes when it jumps into a smaller picture. When you understand that all is you and everyone is you, and that, okay, if you want to experience something or there's something happening to you, you're getting lost into the idea that you, as this singular fractal of consciousness in this singular vehicle, has the control. You in this one particular vehicle does not have the control, but you, that is all, has the control. So therefore, your consciousness that is within dictates the things that are coming in and out of your experience for what it is that you need to learn and experience, because you have a particular like your consciousness has set you in this vehicle a particular pathway of certain things it wants to, certain wisdoms that it wants to obtain and grow from and ascend through this particular experience. So you're given outside experiences to draw that in for you to learn certain lessons. And that is bounced off of by the other yous, your mirrors, which show up looking like different people, different beings, different circumstances, different energy sources, which, when we jump out into the bigness and the wholeness, is all of you, but all of you knows the bigger picture. And it wants you, this singular vehicle, you, to obtain certain wisdom from its certain perspective. So that comes and shows up as patterns in life. And it's up to us to be able to identify the similar energetic pattern sequences that come disguised as something else. But when we take the time to look at the actual energetics of that pattern, we can then identify how they are similar and show up repetitive within our lives. And when we can identify the repetitive patterns that are showing up through an illusion of different things, then we can possibly get to understand what particular lesson we may be looking to learn, what wisdom we may be needing to learn from that. So, we make mistakes, and we're supposed to, because we came here to learn. We would not learn and gain any particular wisdom without the willingness to make mistakes. Think about it in a conscious level, just like a normal human small thing. Like, when is it that you've learned the most out of life or learned the most out of doing something? It's usually when you've made a mistake. It sticks with you, right? So the art of making a mistake is connected to the art of forgiveness, which is connected to the art of moving on and self-actualizing and obtaining the wisdom, the pearl of wisdom that is required from that particular energetic pattern of sequence. So we need the willingness to look at ourselves, the willingness to accept that to be human is to err, the willingness to feel worthy of making mistakes, to feel like it's okay that I make mistakes and I'm allowed to make mistakes. And making mistakes is part of the human condition. And it becomes a gift when we allow ourselves to see the gift within it. And when we allow ourselves to see the gift within the mistake, which is the wisdom, pearl of wisdom, that is our graduation, basically. We can clear that, love that, forgive that. So when we are able to see, own it, we have to be able to be willing to make the mistake. You are going to make it anyways. But oftentimes we may close ourselves off because we don't want to make a mistake. And so we're like closing ourselves off from wisdom. So we have to be willing to be courageous enough to be a novice in whatever it is and to understand that we will make mistakes. And then we have to be willing to look at our mistakes, to face our mistakes, and then own our mistakes. So forgiveness cannot come forth without the ability to look at our mistakes and to own the mistakes. Now, many may think like, oh, by ignoring that I did it and just going on and living life, stuffing it down, just, pretending, shutting it off from ourselves, pretending it didn't even occur. And in a way that could be thought of as forgiveness, but without the willingness to actually sit with it and take the pearl of wisdom of what did I learn from this? It's basically just stuffing it down into a crevice within your body to later show up. And it will continue to show up into repetitive pattern sequences within your life because you weren't willing to look at it. You wanted to put it in the shadows. And then once you put it in the shadows, it's you disowning that mistake, pretending that's not a part of me. I didn't do it. That didn't exist. That's not I'm not this person, blah, 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 or this didn't happen. I'd rather pretend it didn't happen. So let's just think that it's not there. Let's compartmentalize it. Let's stuff it down. Let's put it in a little crevice over here and, let's go on with life. So what happens then is that ends up going into the shadow. You've disowned it, disowned a part of you. So you split off your energy because you're not owning yourself wholly. You've split off your energy and you left it there. You've actually left a part of you in that realm of when that mistake occurred. Unbeknownst to you, living your life consciously, you are not even aware that there's a part of you split off into that section. So then that part of you didn't own it, becomes it's like, yo, I'm a part of you. I'm sad and alone. What do you mean you don't own me? And you're starving it. You're trying to starve it. You're trying to pretend you're abandoning it. You're putting it, boarding it up, with the walls, and pretending you ugly, an ugly child that you had, that you were an evil parent that just was I don't really own this child. You board it up. No one will ever know you exist. You're not a part of me, and you put it away. Like those scary movies or whatever, the kids in the wall. So that's a part of you stuffed away. And then that is in the dark and it's sad. And then it becomes angry and it becomes all of these things because you are not loving it. And you have disowned it and you have turned it. Now it's manifesting it's festering and turning into a demon. So it's like, it wants to know, it wants you to accept it. So it's going to create different scenarios in your life, because the goal of consciousness is to become whole and to evolve into its whole self, with its whole self, and to come back to one. So you're going to end up reliving and repatterning, like, that's the wrong way to put it, not repatterning. You'll relive it and create scenarios that may not look the same, but may have the same energetic imprint. So that may show up as different people, but the same things kind of like are showing up. And then if you could take it back, all these things, you can take it back to the core of that time that you disowned it. So like that mistake. So the only way to forgive a mistake truly is not by ignoring it, but it's through the willingness to look at it and to own it and to have accountability for that mistake. And if that's involved with another person, like, you can't, that other person, there will be an illusion. If you have, if you've done something wrong to another person, and you pretend that you didn't do that thing, but you know that it's been wrong, it's going to still, that's a part of you that's like, you can try to move on and move forward, but it's going to continue to linger there. And it's going to show up and be expressed in different ways within that relationship eventually. And there will be things that are happening within the relationship that really don't seem conducive to whatever it is, like, that happened. Like, you may overreact to certain situations, and like both of you might seem like, well, what in the world? That doesn't seem like it kind of goes with that situation. But that's because it's layered upon other things that you have not accepted and owned and cleared, because you wouldn't look at it. You actually didn't offer yourself forgiveness. You need to offer yourself forgiveness and then own that, like own that accountability to the other person for you to feel like you are forgiven. So through avoidance, it is a big misconception that, oh, we have moved on, I've moved on. But if you look into yourself and your energetic patterns, and you see that circling back to be similar to that time that you thought, I'm just going to cover it up or hide it from myself or whatever, you're going to see that it's actually still lying there. So the biggest thing you need to do is just to see it, find ownership, because really you need forgiveness for yourself, because someone else can offer you forgiveness. But if you don't offer it to yourself, it won't matter. You're going to continue to punish yourself, and you're going to continue to have that patterning continue to show up energetically within your life. So until you allow yourself forgiveness, and which this is why confessions are offered in the Catholic faith, because it's a lot of times, when you feel like you've done wrong by you, God, or someone, or spirituality, or, like you feel you've done wrong, it usually needs, like, you ask for forgiveness, and healing occurs through being witnessed, and then It is you truly offering yourself for forgiveness, but using the mirror of, say, that priest to be able to come to terms and feel like you've been forgiven, when really it comes from you forgiving yourself. You just need to actually truly forgive yourself, because God has already forgiven you, or spirit, or whatever, or you are God, if you like, you are God essence. So the idea is that, so you are God essence. So really it's you that needs to forgive yourself for all the wrongdoings. And the only way, you can't really forgive yourself for all the wrongdoings if you know you're going to continue doing the same thing, right? You can't really forgive yourself for something that you're going to continue to do. It's just like, that's just dumb. So you need to be like, the only way that you know you're not going to continue to do something is understanding the reason you don't want to continue to do it and what the wisdom is from that. So everything comes, it comes from your ability to forgive yourself. So if you're not able to forgive yourself for any of your mistakes, it doesn't matter, you can ask someone else to forgive you, but if you don't forgive yourself, it's still going to affect your life, and you're still going to continue to unconsciously sabotage your life in some way, because you want to continue to punish yourself. You believe in punishment. And you're going to continue to want to punish yourself if you're continuing to repeat the same things that you want to punish yourself for. So there's like this vicious circle. So if you want to change something that you feel that you don't want to do anymore, it's really diving into forgiveness. So and then once you understand, like, it's okay to make mistakes, and knowing that it's okay to make mistakes doesn't mean that you're going to continue to make mistakes. What it means is basically forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you have done, so that you can clear it and no longer make that same mistake. Does that make sense? So, yeah. And then when we have the freedom to make mistakes and know that it is not banishing us to eternal punishment, right? Then we're able to evolve, we're able to continue to try new things, and we're able to move forward, and we're able to, want to be novices, and want to do new things. And consciousness wants us to expand. And as long as we are doing things to our best ability with the right intentions in every moment, we can never go wrong. And then understand that even with the best intentions, we're still going to make mistakes. And that's okay when we own those mistakes, because then we learn from those mistakes, and then we can forgive those mistakes, and then we can move forward, no longer repeating that mistakes, but evolving and making new mistakes, so we can learn new things and learn more wisdom, and just keep it on going, and just enjoy this life, this experience in full expansion to the fullest. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, please put them below. Thank you for listening. And again, just a reminder to hit the like button and subscribe. Maybe put a little emoji down there would be nice. That would be lovely. Let me know that you saw this right to the end. And thank you so much.